locked into the NFL on EA.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Oakland Raiders. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off the bootleg, McIntosh. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to... And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Saquon Barkley with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. New York set to take the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Off the plate fake. McIntosh under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. We're going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
On second down and 4, Jackson buying time to his left. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up pushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 6 yards in the first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 36. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second and 12, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On third and 1, Jackson, and able to complete it to Moreau. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now Jackson on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal. Second down and goal. Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but now it's third and goal. I can't imagine we'd see another throw here. Third and goal from the 1. They'll run with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Back to throw. McIntosh. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Check.
2nd and 9 now. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McIntosh. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. From the gun, McIntosh. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Josh Reynolds with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post-grab?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is taken in at the 5. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Check. Watch the before. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
We got this.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, McIntosh. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Ready. 8-3.
To throw on third down, McIntosh. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. 20! And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Throwing on first down, McIntosh. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On the delay, it's Howard. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
That's caught by Howard, and he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one.
Let's get the ball.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Go.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Hey, tight. 53 is the mic. 53, check.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Hey, watch Sam. Check, Mike. 54.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left.
54. Mike, 54. Come on, D.
Right there. 54, right there. 54. Flip.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson forced out to his left. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Lamar Jackson as time expires in the first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
And my education continues in this game, I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful, and it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of...
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Saquon Barkley, 74 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard, just the
blitz coming, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me?
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Flushed out right, and now he's going to use his legs. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Come on.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Brandon, if you're not rooting for the defensive team, that was a fun play to watch. 4th down, all the throwing lanes are covered, and this guy says, let me do it myself, and shows off scrambling ability.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Ready?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. McIntosh. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, McIntosh. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, his 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go with Howard again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Running from the gun with Howard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
53's the mic. 53.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike.
On first down, Jackson. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Jackson now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He shakes him off. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Let's go.
They go play action now. Jackson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. From the gun, McIntosh. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On first down, Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll take a shot for the... And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to do so.
Touchdown, Raiders. The kicker.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McIntosh. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, McIntosh. This will be caught inside the 10. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Well, that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go. Oh, wide open, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. To throw is Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow. So for the Raiders, they're not going to go quietly here as the wind moves them now to